All right, so back with another episode of Cameo Podcast. I'm again in what we established as my dining room table. I've tried to make a little set. We're live on Instagram and Facebook. I got Connor Shelton here. He's a realtor in town. He's doing a bunch of stuff in the community. But once again, this episode is sponsored by Podcast Republic, an app on Android phone. So if you're listening to this and you don't have a podcatcher, go check it out. It's a great app. They're supporting the show, and I truly appreciate them doing so. They've been featuring me for a little while, and I appreciate all the attention I've received from it. And so, Connor, I'll have you introduce yourself, kind of what you do, and maybe explain a little bit about the Kamloops real estate market for those who are not familiar with Kamloops and buying houses.
For sure, yeah. So yeah, I definitely, as Nevin said, I'm a real estate agent in Kamloops here. This is actually my 6th year in business, so got my hands in a lot of other stuff. I love to coach rugby, volunteering, so there's a little bit of everything there. So actually how we actually met was through Kayla was helping work with the BC Winter Games.
Kayla would be my wife.
Yes. and I'm engaged to Brianna, and Brianna's dad is Kayla's boss. So
yeah, it's come full circle. And then Brandon Old, who I had on the other day, has done some video work for you.
Yeah, and we actually went to elementary school together. So
I know.
And he'll be like filming our wedding, and he's a good buddy of mine.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah.
When's your wedding?
August 25th. So it's coming up. We were actually like just doing stuff for that, and that's why we're a little bit late. But,
no worries. It's we keep things pretty simple here, and
yeah.
so looking at your truck. You're driving an F-150, so it's full circle all the way around. I want to talk actually about your rugby. I actually played rugby in high school.
Oh, nice.
I played 2 years before I had a part-time job that I had to commit to.
Yeah.
What? So you're coaching the rugby team. What are they called? Who are they?
So I coach 2 teams. I coached the Sally secondary rugby team. I played all through high school. I played the 5 years there, and then I just got kind of lazy, but I still wanted to be involved. So I started coaching. So this is my 8th year coaching the Sally team. And I really got serious last year. Was actually the first year. My goal was always like I want to go provincials because we had never gotten that far. And last year finally had the talent and made it there. And we ended up placing 11th in provincial, so that was super exciting. And then with the success of that and wanting to be more involved in rugby, then I started coaching at the Kamloops Rugby Club for the U19 program. So we're going to be getting that going again. So we kind of do the school season and then go into the club season. And but yeah, the main goal is just getting more people out playing rugby. And exciting enough, the Kamloops Rugby Club won the Division II provincial champs. So it's definitely a great group of guys, and there's going to be touch rugby every, I think, Wednesday. So anyone that's looking to just get involved and just touch a ball, it's a good way to get back into it because it's just touch.
Yeah, I played football for 1 year in grade 10, but I played rugby for 2. What is it about the sport of rugby that kind of draws you in?
Right. I really like it because I think it's more, you have to be, like, it's physically exhausting. Is one thing, and then you still have to be like most sports, but you still have to be have so much more mental. I think more mental energy because there's so many more strategies, and I really like because I like football as well, but watching it on TV it can get so boring because it's like 5 seconds. Okay, wait a bit, reset. Rugby is continuous. There's stoppage for penalties, but much more rare than, and they're a quick stop usually. So I really like the quickness and intensity of the game. And so this year we're actually playing rugby, or the last couple of years we've been playing rugby sevens, and with it on the more kind of global field now, it's getting a lot more experience, and we're getting a lot more athletic kids. Like a different variety of athlete, where before we were getting, with rugby 15s, you get a little bit of a different mix of players. You're getting the bigger front row guys and then your skinnier fast backs. So it's just been a cool experience, and it's something I like to give back to because I know the coaches that coached me, they sacrificed their time to coach me, and I feel that I should do the same so the younger generation can enjoy it as well.
Yeah, you're actually the second high school sports team coach I've had on.
Oh, really?
JP Lancaster,
yes,
Factotum, is also he's a football coach.
Right.
So we chatted about that. What position in rugby did you play?
So I actually I started as a back on the wing.
I was a winger.
Yeah. And then so that was like 8, 9, and then 10 it started to switch over. I got a job at McDonald's, so started packing on the pounds, and then slowly moved into the scrum, and by the end of it I was a second row or prop, so which really worked out to my benefit going into coaching, because I'd basically, when you're back you can kind of play wherever, but there's specific things with each position, and then with the scrum you kind of know everyone else's positions in there, but I've been flanker, second row, prop. Only thing I haven't been is a hooker and 8-man and scrum half, so it's I've been all over the board, and I like it. It's it's by far my favorite sport.
Hooker's a position for those who don't know. It's a tough position. I'll give them that. I played fullback, which was awesome, but also sucked.
Yes.
Like I remember leaving rugby games and having like my shoulders out of place and having like one like 4 inches taller than the other, because you have to hit with your shoulder, right? And it was the last defense, I guess, and stop people from getting tries.
Exactly.
What other things are you doing in the community? I saw some pictures on Instagram involving your truck and a whole bunch of stuff.
Right, yeah. So I'm heavily involved with Rotaract. So it's for those who don't know, it's an arm of Rotary International, because most people know the Rotary wheel. So in town there's 5 Rotary clubs, and then there's Rotaract, which is the 18 to 30-year-old group. So we call ourselves the Rotaract Young Professionals. It was me and another guy's idea to kind of rebrand it, and we wanted more people that were young professionals, because what we were getting was it's hard to grow a group of volunteers, and we're trying to raise money and give it back to the community or just volunteer, and we would get a lot of college students, and they're very transient. They're going to help us for maybe 6 months, maybe a year, 2 years, depending, but we weren't getting that long-term commitment out of them. So we did the rebrand, and then it's really been great. It's a great group of people, and we meet every Tuesday at 5:30 at Flavors of India. And right now we're actually planning our Camp Focus youth leadership camp. So that's been exciting. It's always a challenge, because you're getting new people that are that haven't planned events and don't have too much experience. So it's always we make it work, but it's that's the nice challenge of you just get people that come together that want to do good for the community, and everybody's just got that good heart, and it always ends up working out.
It's funny how that works out.
Yeah.
Like you just put your mind to something and it kind of makes a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. You just got to say, okay, this is either what we want to raise, this is what we want to do, and kind of work the plan backwards. So, we've been pretty successful in raising money and giving it back. So, but we do a lot more grassroots volunteering, because we don't have that experience in planning a rib fest or a crab fest or something like that. But I really enjoy the group. I'm probably going to transition now into a Rotary club. Just because it kind of works with my schedule better now. But it's definitely something that I've helped move along over the last 6 years, been president, and I just kind of feel that now I've kind of set them up and they can do their own thing. But,
it's I think it's a transitional time for a lot of people right now.
Yeah, definitely in that age, and I'm sure you felt similar things where, I'm 26 and it's kind of like, okay, I'm still in my 20s, but I'm getting to my 30s, and it's like a different time for sure.
Yeah, so like I had this one buddy who it took Kayla probably 2-3 years to train me to train him, right, that my couch is not his to sleep on. Whatever, right? Like it's a transitional time.
Yeah.
So, I want to chat about, Brock. I love Brock.
Yeah.
As a realtor, why should someone love Brock as much as I do?
Right. Okay. So I love this question, actually, because like I grew up on the hill. I grew up in Sahali. So when we moved here, I think it was probably bad advice from someone else, because my dad worked for a heavy equipment company. So my mom was talking to other ladies that worked at the company, or wives of the company, and they said, oh, just whatever you do when you're buying a house here, don't go on the north side of town, like at all, like just totally written off. And now that I'm a real estate agent, I see that. Yeah, exactly. So I was super young, and some areas in Kamloops hadn't developed as much, but now that I'm a realtor and I see that, like, you get a good bang for your buck out here, and Yeah, there's some little pockets of areas that might not be as nice as other areas, or it's just close to commercial, so it's more transient people, more people that are maybe have problems with drugs or whatever. But you just stay away from those pockets. But like the area we both live in, like we literally drove 2 blocks over from here. We're on over there, and I love it. It's a family-orientated area. Prices are good. Your lot size is way bigger. You're on the sunny side of town. I just chopped off the roof of our deck because I wanted more sun in the house. So I really like it. I think it's affordable. And actually, what most people don't know is Kamloops was actually once 2 cities across the river. So there was Kamloops on the south side of town, and North Kamloops or Tranquille. And eventually they were made into 2 cities. So one side of the city got the hospital, the other side got MacArthur Island. So it was always kind of like, well, this side has this, so we'll give this side the other side. So I think it's pretty cool because not a lot of people know that, and how Kamloops kind of developed. So yeah, I love Brock. It was funny because you kind of get tainted just from living up in Sahalie, and when we were looking for houses, even we were like, do we want to live in Brock? But now that we've been here, we've never had any crime. We haven't had anything. So
yeah. I was told the exact same information when I was coming from out in Ontario to move here for school, and the living in Aberdeen Suites was great for just jumping on the bus and getting to school, right?
Yeah.
But now as someone who wants to have a piece of land, I can't believe the size of the yard that I actually have, and now I'm just having trouble mowing the lawn and doing that side of things. But it's definitely part of the experience, I think, in living in Brock, right? You get to walk around. I know all my neighbors. They give me cherries and free veggies and hot meals when we're too tired to do that because of the baby. What aside from, I guess, getting married, what's kind of next in the future for you?
We're thinking of moving actually just up into Bachelor Heights just because we want a little bit newer house. We're planning to have a little one after the wedding sometime. So kind of just planning for it. We'd like a little bit more room in the house. I'd like a garage. So that's coming up. Obviously the wedding. Like to go to Europe for a honeymoon, or
where in Europe?
Or not Europe, sorry. Never mind. We changed the plan. We're thinking Australia, New Zealand, actually.
Oh, nice. My sister's there right now.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. She's been an attendant on the ferry between the two.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. I don't know what else. Rugby team's doing good right now. Hopefully go to provincials again this year.
When's provincials? What's the season for someone? How can they watch you too, right?
So for our high school team, it's a really short season. We basically start first week of April, once the ground, because the school district actually says, okay, now you're allowed to go on the field. So once they give us that go-ahead, it's basically practice for a week, games start, so everybody's super fresh. And then provincials are usually first or second week of June, so it's
coming quick.
Short, yeah, exactly. So, and it's tough because not a lot of kids, like it's not a sport you learn in elementary school, in Canada at least, or most schools in Canada. So kids are really fresh and they need to learn the rules quickly, and it's different than a lot of sports. You can only pass the ball backwards. The offside line's always moving, so there's things that are a lot different. That it's a quick learning curve. So you have to have kids that have that natural athletic ability, but also a little bit of smarts. So
yeah, it's a very, very dynamic sport.
Yeah. What else? I'm not volunteering for anything else right now. I'm kind of hanging out.
Enjoying the sun. The sun's finally out.
Yeah, exactly.
Wearing shorts.
It's been gone for a while.
No worries. Well,
really, I've just been working my ass off, to be honest.
Just keeping the nose down, making things happen.
Exactly. Paying for the wedding.
Yeah, Kamloops is a happening place right now, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for those who want to stake their claim. And Connor, thanks for coming and agreeing to chat with me. We're at the 14-minute mark or whatever it be. Where can people find you if they have questions? Where can they reach out? and kind of leave them some parting words
For
they
sure.
want to share.
Yeah, okay, I'll rip it out. Kamloops real estate market's been super hot, so just go right into not the sales aspect of it, but more information.
People buy from people, right? So it's not sales,
it's a relationship
right?
business,
So
for
sure.
sure.
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
And how I kind of built my business was more on giving value back to the people. So I like to always just kind of clear there, because in the media, at least, you see that real estate or last month at least, you saw that real estate softened, is what they said. Well, yeah, the unit sales of how many units we're selling per month went down, but because of the lack of inventory we had on the market, prices are still rising because of the principle of supply and demand. It's the basic economic principle of when there's less supply and increased demand, prices will rise. So I think it's important that you just got to relay it back to what that means to people. If you're just saying one stat that, oh, this is 5-10% down from last year, okay, but what does that mean to the whole market in general? That's just one number. So anyway, if you want to look for those, it's on my Facebook page, Connor Shelton Real Estate on Facebook. You can add me on Facebook. I'm always very friendly. Instagram, Connor Shelton Remax. That's basically all I use. But
or look for his truck. Look for
yeah,
the truck.
exactly. Wave me down. Give me a honk. I'll be there.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for popping on.
Yeah, thanks
popping
for
on.
having me.
Popping on to the podcast. As you can tell, I'm getting a little tired, but banging these things out as quickly as I can, and I hope everyone who's listening in is enjoying. Please find me on iTunes, Google Play, Breaker, Stitcher. Man, so many different places. Or kameo.transistor.fm. I did mess something up in my website recently, so I'm fixing that. I know it'll be done probably by a week's time, because I'm a procrastinator. Anyways, thanks again there, Connor.
Yeah, no problem.